in drug discovery. We'll also get involved in gene therapy and cell therapy. And lastly, we shall start manufacturing active pharmaceutical ingredients.
Your Excellency, I want to take this opportunity to thank you so much for believing in this young man. Your Excellency, today, everybody is saying they are happy about what has happened. But believe me, there was a time when the agencies did not even have time for him. This time he came to me very frustrated that he has to continuously explain himself to the agencies because no one thought that an African, a Ugandan, is an entrepreneur. They wanted to see a white skin. But you believed in him and supported him. I don't know how many times I called you when he was in trouble, called you when the banks were disturbing him, when things were not working, but you said no, this is important for our country, important for Africa. So you soldiered on and supported him up to date. So thank you so much, Your Excellency.
I warmly congratulate Mr. Magola and all those that have worked with him in this great life-changing project of producing medicines, much of them derived from our own local materials. Its main objective is to achieve a common goal, which is improved health care.
Thank you very, very much. I would also like to ask Your Excellency to please take a photo with the Magola family. So that is
The Minister for Health, Dr. Jade Ruth Acheng, has expressed optimism in the fight against the current Ebola virus disease outbreak. The minister, however, encourages the public to stick to observing preventative measures as the fight continues.
To date, we have 65 cumulative confirmed cases. Still majorly from the district of Mubende and Kasanda. The other districts that we are involved, Chegegwa, Kagadi and Bunyangabo, many of our contacts there have completed their 21 days follow-up and have been discharged from follow-up. But that does not mean that we have discharged the districts, because we have another 21 days to count to make a cycle of 42 days. So we still have surveillance officers stationed there to follow up those districts. Yes, we have had contacts of positive cases and positive cases that have passed through Mityana district, because it is one of the high-risk districts that are bordering Mubende. But to date, we don't have a confirmed case in Mityana. Mityana remains under surveillance and strict observation. Yesterday, we only had one confirmed case that was from Madudu, a sub-county in Mubende. There is good progress in controlling this particular Ebola epidemic, and we are happy that the restricted movements from the epicenters, both districts of Mubende and Kasanda, are giving us a green light, because we no longer have spreading and seeding of infection going out of these districts. So we have intensified our activities in these districts in terms of risk communication, sensitizing the public, intense contact tracing and surveillance, and we do hope that by the end of the 21 days, we will have made good progress towards containment of the epidemic.
Naweru Chief Magistrates Court has sentenced a one Nalwada Amina to 1 year in prison or to pay a fine cash of 4.5 million Uganda shillings after pleading guilty to charges of examination malpractice. However, the teacher of Kawempe Standard Secondary School, Moses Hamali, who pleaded not guilty to the offence, was granted a non-cash bail of 5 million Uganda shillings. The matter was presided over by Magistrate Sanyu Mukasa. We have the details.
At 1:30 p.m., Amali Moses, the head teacher of Kawempe Standard Secondary School, and Narwada Amine, parent at the same school, were read at Naweru Grade 1 Magistrates Court for pre-taking over the charges against them. Before Magistrate Sanyu Mukasa Court charged them with one count of examination malpractice. Narwada Amina, a parent at the same school, after listening to the charges, pleaded guilty to the said offences and was consequently sentenced to 1 year imprisonment or pay fine of 4.5 million cash.
However, this is a rampant offence, puts the whole country's education system and its credibility at risk, so she must be deterred.
Kote wadde ekibonerezo ky'okusasula fayini ya miliyoni 4 n'emitwalo 8 bw'oba tokoze ekitosasudde sente ezo za fayini ojja genda mu kkomera.
However, Hamali Moses, the head teacher of Kawempe Standard Secondary School, who pleaded not guilty to the offences, was released on a non-cash bail of 5 million. Uganda National Examination Board was represented by lawyer Kamari Anna.
The other ones are juveniles, so they are the ones who engaged in the actual impersonation. But as a board, there is need to focus on these adults who are perpetuating the whole exercise. You can see that in the absence of an adult, these children would not have engaged in malpractice. There is money changing hands. The aunt is going to pay this boy. The public has to know that the Enable Act 2021 is out to bite. We are sending a very strong message that whoever engages in malpractice in whatever form is going to be prosecuted under this act.
Jennifer Kasude, the UNEP spokesperson, says since this year's UNEP started, they have registered a number of cases in line with the examination malpractice.
These are like 3 cases of impersonation in just 1 week. And then 1 case of collusion, that was the one in Kamuli, where the candidates were colliding to be discussing a paper when it was going on. The teachers out there, don't get involved in this kind of malpractice. Don't aid malpractice. Don't aid the learner. Let them be able to get their own marks. Let them appreciate that they've actually been able to attain some competencies and learn on their own. So I want to caution anybody out there, you are caught in a malpractice, you will actually be apprehended in the courts of law.
Prosecution alleges that on 17th October 2022, Hamali Moses, the teacher of Kawempe Standard Secondary School, collaborated with Narwada Amina, the aunt to Namuongo Huda, and others still at large, to pay 350,000 Ugandan shillings to Bagenda Emmanuel to sit for Namuongo Huda in the exams. Court set 7th November 2022 for hearing of the case against Amali Moses. Deborah Namamonde, Susan Nabugudde, UBC News.
The Anti-Corruption Court has charged 5 government officials with 2 counts of causing financial loss to government of over 300 million Uganda shillings by paying it to 3 people as gratuity. They pleaded not guilty to the alleged offences, and court later granted them bail after presenting substantial sureties.
The 5 government officials in the case of causing financial loss to government include Freddy Mukasa Kizito, the Cow, Namutumba District; Emmanuel Ogwao, Deputy Cow, Nebe District; Godfrey Mutomi, Cow, Kaliro District; Elizabeth Namugoro District Accountant, Kaliro District; and John Wambweri, Senior Accountant at the Ministry of Finance. Before Magistrate Joan Asio at the Anti-Corruption Court in Kololo, they were charged with 2 counts of causing financial loss of 300 million to the government.
Between 1st November 2020 and 30th November 2020 in Kaliro District, and made fictitious gratuity payment amounting to 45,021,589 shillings to Henry in North Korea, knowing or having reason to believe that their actions would cause financial loss to the government.
They pleaded not guilty to the alleged offences. Prosecution led by Mawano Sennoga informed court that investigations in the matter are complete, thus praying to court to set the date for mention of the matter.
Serve a month so we can disclose.
The accused persons, through their lawyers, applied for bail by presenting sureties and citing health illnesses among other grounds.
We take cognizance to the fact that yes, 300 million is some money, but we also want court to know that this is really not punishment. At this stage, the accused persons, but they are presumed innocent.
We pray that court finds the sureties presented by A2 substantial and grants him bail on terms that are favorable to him.
Although prosecution did not object to their bail application, court was requested to slap the accused with stringent bail terms. Magistrate Joani Asido, on releasing the accused, had presented substantial sureties, granting them bail.
F3, F4, and F5 will make a cash deposit of 10 million shillings. That is each person. A2 and A6 will make a cash deposit of 6 million shillings. That is each.
Court resumed on 22nd November 2022. Formation of the case. Prosecution alleges that Robert Mulondo, Kaomubende District Local Government, who was absent in court, and 5 other accused being government officials, allegedly paid 300 million to Emmanuel Ricky Mukabye, Henry Enothi Kiria, and Natafali Imperia's gratuity, which caused the financial loss to government. Deborah Nama Monde, Nantongo Rebecca, UBC News.
Government has cleared the installation of the Iteso cultural leader, Paul Sunday Emolot, as the third leader of the Itesot, and preparations are in high gear. According to Soroti resident City Commissioner Peter Pex, his office was ordered to allow the coronation after the court injunction by a rival Iteso team opposed to Emoromor Paul Sunday was proven null and void. Now this means Emoromor Paul Sunday will now become the third leader of the Itesot that live in both Uganda and neighboring Kenya. Selection of the Itesot cultural leader is not hereditary, but rather rational among the major clans of Teso.
At the background is the issue in Teso Cultural Union institution headquarters. The people you see behind are people who are in the organizing committee, mobilizing for tomorrow's coronation of Papa Sunday Emolot as the Emoromor Papa Iteso. There has been a lot of controversy in this exercise, and because there are two parties, they went to court. One party went to court, and the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, which is responsible for culture, decided to call this meeting, to call the two parties for a mediation in Kampala on 19th. And each party went with various documents, and having seen the documents, having explained a lot of issues surrounding this coronation, the ministry decided to consult with the Attorney General. Attorney General looked at the documents presented. There was no court order. There was no court order presented to the Attorney General to stop the coronation. And from there on, the Attorney General cleared and said there is no legal impediment to the coronation. And so the Ministry for Gender instructed my office to allow the coronation to take place. And therefore, I want to inform the general public and the other country that the coronation of Papa of Iteso, Sunday Emolot, will take place tomorrow, 22nd, at the Mayor's Garden in Soroti City. I want to appeal to the general public in Soroti City to remain calm, maintain peace and security, but also appeal to all Ugandans who wish to attend the coronation. Please come and attend the coronation of the Iteso cultural leader.
And then tomorrow, after we have had Emoromor put in office, officially in front of the religious leaders and the shield bearers of the Iteso, we will then provide the Ministry of Gender with the name of the inaugurated cultural leader of the Iteso as Paul Sande Emolot or Tomeleng. That was his elderhood initiation name that was given after ascending into leadership. So that is the position here. Everything is in order. The council today sat here. There was a joint session of council and cabinet in order to receive the good news from the government of Uganda, giving us permission to continue with our activities. And council has passed a resolution to proceed with the activities, and therefore tomorrow we are having our members from all the ethnic nationality of Teso, Uganda and Kenya. We are having the Ateke people from Karamoja, we are having those from Ethiopia and the others from Kenya. We have had already the United States team of Ateke has already arrived. The people from South Africa are already here. And as you see, we are really set to have tomorrow His Highness Papa Paul Sande Morot inaugurated as the third Emoromor.
Makerere University has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Prudential Insurance to help students advance their studies. The Vice-Chancellor of Makerere, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, appreciated the MOU, saying it will benefit both the university and students.
A requirement for
Makerere University and Prudential Insurance have signed a Memorandum of Understanding to help students taking insurance courses further their studies in insurance. During the signing of the MOU, the Vice-Chancellor Makerere University, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, said the MOU will benefit both the university and the students.
Signing this MOU where we are going to partner with you to partner with us in training the next generation of actuarial scientists is extremely important, not just for us as a university, but for our country. And I believe these people can also work anywhere in the world. So it is a very important contribution that you are making to Makerere.
He also asserts that this will open up opportunities for students to appreciate and enhance the importance of insurance.
As you are aware, of course, we are beginning our journey of another 100 years, and it is good. Our strategic plan actually wants to place us not just as a research-led and innovation-led university, but also working with, having linkages with industry so that the university becomes more relevant to the country, more relevant to the industry, to where we are actually sending our students. So,
the CEO Prudential believes that the Memorandum of Understanding will go a long way in ensuring that the beneficiaries acquire more skills in insurance studies.
The diversity of talent and impact on society is something that we can identify with in Prudential. Our focus is to help people get the most out of life. And the great work you do here empowers individuals not just to go out and change their own lives, but change the very societies and communities that they are part of.
The Manager Risk and Actuarial at Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda, Ivan Kilameri, says IRA has created a conducive environment for insurance companies to extend more services to the people.
We create a requirement for the internal actuarial control function. And this is a requirement not just for Prudential, but for the entire industry, which then creates a demand for actuaries.
This MOU is the first of its kind, and it will last for 5 years, subject to renewal once its goals are achieved. Andrew Sebira compiled this report.
The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development is to roll out the use of machine learning to automate the determination of optical electrification strategies. This was revealed during the closure of a program implemented by Sunbadai, an artificial intelligence non-profit organization in Lamour district that focused on increasing the accuracy in selections for renewable energy sites in the area.
This intelligence data site was built as a prototype for large-scale decision support tool for determining electrification strategies in different geographical areas of Lamour district. Sunbird AI used remote sensing datasets, including the open buildings and several Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development datasets.
We try and calculate where buildings are. That's one area. We try and calculate where roads are. We try and calculate a proxy for where people are. We also try and calculate based on the buildings, the sizes, the location, the density, what activities are taking place. And this can be obtained from these, but also we add other factors. So for example, what does the vegetative index look like? How much vegetation is there? And this is a proxy for biomass. We try and understand, how much solar energy is there. And by combining this sort of power demand side and the power supply side, we try and estimate what would be the most appropriate electrification strategy for a particular district.
The application analyzes the demand and supply side of electrification, and now the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development says this is to be carried on in the implementation of the National Electricity Strategy.
We apply mini-grids in places where we think extension of the grid at the immediate may not be financially viable. So the pilot we've done in Lamour was to do a proof of concept for us to understand that we have a platform that can help guide the distribution, the siting and development of these mini-grids. So certainly we want to scale out this across the country. We want to use this platform to show where else we can site these mini-grids and how best we develop them to be productive.
Sunbird AI is an organization focused on developing artificial intelligence solutions for the social good in the African context, and this project was funded by GIZ. Samuel Senono, UBC News.
The Ministry of Water and Environment, through the Climate Change Department, together with the United Kingdom and other partners, have launched the Forum for Children and Youth Environment and Climate Action. The forum aims at boosting the youth climate action locally and also to provide input for the UN Climate Conference of Parties expected to be held in Egypt this year. The function was held at the National Water and Sewage Corporation International Resource Center in Bugolobi. We have a detailed story.
The local conference of youth in Uganda mirrors the objectives of the International Conference of Youth, where they come together to discuss climate issues and their role before the UN Conference of Parties COP, leading to COP27 to take place in Egypt this November. The interim coordinator for the Children and the Youth Forum on Environment and Climate Action, Lauryn Juliet, says one of the strategic objectives of the local conference of youth meeting is bringing and advancing the voices of Ugandan youth to the global stage.
Technical support and financial support, are you able to actually come into the communities and really track that the work that I'm doing in this community is actually visible and that I'm actually doing the work that I'm doing? So the whole idea of the position paper that we are working on as a young people is really to showcase, one, the things that we are working on, but then also at the same time the recommendations that we have as per our experiences from the communities that we are coming from.
Alex Krug, the East African climate and environment leader from the British High Commission, says such platform is a clear step for Ugandan youth to work with a common voice while advancing the climate action agenda.
Around adaptation, building resilience for the most vulnerable countries like Uganda, and then initiatives around mobilizing greater amounts of climate finance for vulnerable countries, again like Uganda. If I just give an example of the Task Force on Access to Climate Finance, where Uganda is a pioneer country, and we are hoping to make rapid progress with them in that regard.
Assistant Commissioner, Minister of Water and Environment Bob Native, emphasized the role of government in facilitating such platforms.
NDC, conditional meaning we can only achieve all those aspirations that we've enlisted in those carbon management plans if, for example, there's 70% funding that there is to support the government of Uganda. And again, going back to the principle of justice, is that we are not entirely responsible for the emissions that have caused or continue to cause the impacts that we are faced with. So the condition NDC that there is can only be achieved if we continue working together with the development partners, if we continue working with everybody else to achieve those ambitious aspirations.
Uganda recently revised its nationally determined contributions indices, and the launch of this forum cannot be overemphasized. Robert Katamba, UBC News.
And we are
So, I'm here to announce that the MTN Kampala Marathon is back. And this year, we are running for babies. To be clear, I am not talking about a baby. No. And neither am I talking about to be baby. I am talking about these small dollars.
Run for babies in the MTN Kampala Marathon on Sunday, 20th November 2022. Dial *165*77# or use the Momo app to register.
My name is Charles Peter Maiga, the Katikiro of Buganda. It's very important to groom and nurture children into responsible citizens. But that doesn't mean that we've got to beat them up, got to hurt them. I think we need to groom our children into people who have self-worth. That will enable us to have citizens who will be responsible and who will also look at violence with disdain.
Because a violence-free childhood is everyone's right. Raising voices.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift, buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome to Friends Stadium. Everybody's ready. Wait a second, not everybody. Come on, dude, it's the FIFA World Cup. You're going to lose your seat, the ritual seat, the lucky one. Losing more than a seat, your team is going to lose. Where are you, dude? The match is about to start. Your friends won't hold out much longer. Excuse me. Finally, everything is in the right place. Hey, other hand. And you, do you have everything you need to believe?
MTN joins the people of Keralur to celebrate the 12th coronation anniversary of the King of Keralur, His Royal Majesty Ubim Philip Rauni III in October. At MTN, we believe that we only succeed if the communities in which we operate succeed. And so, we're happy to join the people and well-wishers of the people of Keralur in promoting social cultural programs of the Ubim.
Walego Mugisa ni Ubimu ku Keralur.
Welcome back from that break. Now in more news, State Minister for Agriculture Fred Bwino Chakulaga has tasked stakeholders in the agriculture value chain to embrace video-based information services. This, the minister says, will help reach all, especially the small-scale farmer, in order for them to benefit from the innovative climate-resilient strategies. Take a look.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries is determined to ensure farmers have access to video-based information services and climate-resilient strategies to help improve their stock.
Well, the point we are saying is that the technologies, information of these technologies must take care of the rural woman. So whatever is being disseminated, we must cater for the rural. And who will do that? It is us in government, it is the non-state actors, NGOs, it is our field people.
Minister Chakuliaga was closing a stakeholders workshop at Hotel Africana in Kampala that was organized by International Food Policy Research Institute.
When they presented the qual results, and I was telling myself why they separated, because I needed to see the complementarity directly related to the quantitative results that were presented in the morning and the qualitative, not separately. That's why I see how they complement each other directly. And so then, at the end of the day, you see that the first one looks like you've forgotten it. Then you are now in the qualitative that you need to see those clear linkages to ensure that you have one report that's talking about the same innovative climate resilience initiatives. So then that going forward, so I looked at it in terms of, so what are the sustainability mechanisms that the innovative approaches that we maintain, that we can take forward in terms of cost effectiveness.
More than 60 participants from the agricultural sector partook of this workshop on the theme of reaching small-scale women farmers with innovative climate resilient strategies. This workshop, according to Minister Chakuliaga, came in handy to suit the government's 6 pillars that aim at putting the country's agriculture to a commercial-based level.
The increasing cases of children being abandoned by their parents in the country has worried religious leaders who are now urging government to crack the whip on such errant parents. The call was made by Reverend Father Ronald Chambade from Nyenga Seminary as he blessed P7 candidates at Seta Junior School Mbalala campus in Mukono.
Has been encouraged to curb the increasing cases of parents abandoning their children, fronting poverty as the cause. The call was made by Reverend Father Ronald Chambade from Nyenga Seminary during a function to bless P7 candidates at Seta Junior School, Mbalala campus.
Can grow up, first of all, when they wish that they think that they are burden to the world, and from the point of feeling that they are a burden to the world, they may choose to either go into drugs, they may choose not to put in a lot of efforts in studies, and they may choose to be loners, not wanting to share with anyone.
He advised candidates to always put God first and use the knowledge and skills acquired to pass their examinations. Father Chambade cautioned parents and guardians against engaging in witchcraft in this unique period to gain alleged supernatural knowledge for their children. The headmistress of Seta Junior School, Mbalala campus, Sister Christine Namara, encouraged the candidates to remain firm and focused in order to pass the forthcoming PLA exams.
And these academic journals are ready to conquer PLE and set a breathtaking record to take the world by surprise and put it on standstill as did coronavirus.
Let's be on the watch. I know parents, we always say we are busy, but we can never be too busy for our children. What is the use of making so much money when at the end of the day your child is going to be a drug addict?
The mass of dedicating the candidates before God was also attended by parents and religious leaders from various Christian denominations. Sudat Kaye, Fred Kasivante, UBC News.
Construction of over 31 roads under the US MID project has created jobs to thousands of youths in and out of Gulu City. A procurement specialist from the Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets Authority, Dr. Levi Kabagambe, says this is one of the guidelines that had to be compiled within implementing the project.
Uganda's support to municipal infrastructural development project, USMIF, has expanded the infrastructural development and revenue base of Gulu City. it has provided employment to both skilled and unskilled youth working on the roads in the local and international companies.
We've engaged local people on the project in both subcontracting them and the local laborers, the workers themselves. Our medical personnel are also locals. The service providers for food are locals.
Christopher Nyero from Gulu says the project has helped to reduce the level of unemployment among the youth. Many have set up small businesses on newly constructed pavement along the roads.
But now that they use the Gulu city through, they use mid fund, they have constructed the road. I have seen a lot of youths have started putting their sapati point alongside some of the trading centers within the city.
An official from Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Asset Authority, Dr. Levi Kabagambe, expressed appreciation to China Railway 18 Construction Company for adhering to all the guidelines of the project, especially employing the local people.
And the Ugandans should know, this money is not free. This money is a loan. We shall pay. So when these projects come, we want Ugandans to participate in them so that some part of the proceeds remain here in the country. Up to 30% of the value of this contract should be subcontracted. That is the law.
The PPDA board chairman, Julius Isungwisa, emphasized that shoddy work will soon be an history because they are introducing a digital application that will enable citizens to report directly to PPDA.
Civil society will have an application of control management system where they will go in the field, monitor. If they see anything that is going wrong, they will report to the PDEs. If it is not handled by the PDEs, it will be escalated upwards to PPDA, which is finally responsible for the monitoring.
Gulu City Engineer Omara Cristobal Moy said they are working with the contractor to repair all the damaged roads and ensure that there is value for money in their work.
Indeed, some few roads develop potholes, especially the roads that were done at the first Usmit, and mostly were occasioned with the erosion at the intersections. All those potholes have been repaired by the city.
China Railway 18 Company, one of the company implementing U-Smith project in Gulu City, expressed to finish construction by 2023.
Musicians in West Nile have urged the senior presidential advisor on special duties, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, to also consider promoting the music industry in the sub-region through his MK project. This call was made ahead of General Muhoozi's visit to Arua City, where he is expected to preside over the ongoing football competition organized under the MK project. We have a detailed story.
Team chairman, MK is our brand.
Musicians from West Nile region through West Nile Music Association are calling upon General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the senior presidential advisor on special duties, to make use of his MK project to improve music industry in the sub-region.
We have so many talents back here. These are all talents. We have artists that can actually make it big in the national game. But the reason why we are not heard, it's because West Nile is a dark region. Whatever happens here remains here. And that is why MK said, no, my focus is on the youth. It's recording studio, we need a broadcasting service, yeah? We need medias, TV stations, because if the music can't be played there, our people should be able to see our videos here. The tools, we don't have the tools to push our music to the next level.
They also demand for any independent ministry in the government for the music industry in the country so that voices of musicians across the country can easily be heard.
Western music is bleeding. So we're welcoming MK project in Arua. What I'm saying is at least we should have our own ministries.
We lack, that national support as an industry, you understand? None of these leaders from, let us say, the central government itself
comes to our rescue whenever we have a problem.
The musicians are excited as they expect to see General Muhoozi for his first public appearance in West Nile during the MK project activities at West Nile Golf Club in Arua City.
All I want to say is we are so excited about the whole thing, and we are ready to welcome team chairman MK. OB, please, we love you so much.
On Saturday, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba is expected to preside over a football talent exhibition in Arua as chief guest. Since last week, various teams have been facing off in various football matches in Arua City, where Arua City and Yumbe District will play finals anticipated for this Saturday. Joseph Odama, UBC News.
Thank you, Joseph Odama. Now, the fifth caliph of the Ahmadiyya community, His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmed, has launched Baitul Ikram Mosque in Allen, Texas, with a call for unity and brotherhood. Over 100 guests embraced the occasion and vowed to promote their religion and mutual understanding of all religions all over the world.
Allen is fortunate that such a peace-loving and service-oriented community has decided to settle down here and build such a beautiful mosque.
Following in the footsteps of his predecessors, His Holiness has been dedicated to the promotion of two closely related virtues, religious freedom and interreligious. Without mutual understanding and respect between and within religions, the forces for exclusion and division grow ever stronger.
The House of Abraham. You know, the three major religions go back to that house, the House of Abraham. Judaism, Christianity, Islam. His Holiness, this is the second time I've had the honor to visit with him extensively, believes that we can all live under the House of Abraham peacefully. Peacefully.
Your Holiness, on behalf of the Mayor and City Council of Allen, as a gesture of our gratitude for your presence and leadership, it is my honor to present to you the key to the City of Allen, Texas. Thank you.
Access to sanitary towels is a challenge that many girls in poor communities struggle with, especially considering the cost of buying essential commodities. This is blamed on extreme high costs of sanitary pads, which make it hard for many girls to access them. To ease this burden, Wabibi Pads Limited makes affordable, reusable cloth pads. Tukundani Ivan with more.
Over 500 million girls worldwide do not have access to menstrual health management materials. They feel ashamed, insecure and anxious, to the point that they are unable to go to school. This is mainly out of embarrassment and ridicule from their male counterparts, leading to low self-esteem and poor grades. Okumu Charlotte is one of those people with a story to tell.
We've gone out to schools and you find a teenager telling you, oh, you know, Charlotte, me, I'd rather stay back at home other than going to school, because I really feel when I go to school, I have a lot of period shame. I've had periods pass through because I use tissue. I don't have a way of getting pads every day. So I'd rather stay home for 4 days.
Information about women's monthly menstruation period is provided as a way of addressing myths and misconceptions around the concept. This provides a platform through which individuals can provide peer support towards adopting positive health and well-being behavior.
I know now challenges which my girls are going through on their menstruation periods. So for instance, when I also get my wife, I am able to know how painful she can go through her menstruation periods, right? So at least I have experience about menstruation.
In this humble establishment, A dream is glowing steadily with every piece of cloth and every thread. A dream of providing affordable reusable sanitary pads is coming true to save the girls from public stigma.
So in 2019, we wanted to understand the challenges that women in slums are facing, especially during their menstrual periods. So we carried out a small survey, which was household survey, and we interviewed a bit of women, and mostly 60% reported that they would not be able to afford monthly menstrual products. So we decided, of course, you see, when there is a challenge in community, there should always be a solution giver, you know. So I went back home. Thank God, because of social media, I checked into the phone, logged into my YouTube, and I wanted to understand if there is a sustainable pad. So I remember entering my YouTube how to make a sustainable pad. And then they gave me a various list of products, and I was like, oh, I think I could actually go reusable.
The lady who birthed the vision of making reusable sanitary pads is also one of the victims who was raised from ghettos of Kamocha. She acknowledges that she was motivated to continue with this idea from the attention she received after making her first pad and posting it on social media. She claims that some girls miss out on schools during their flow, others use materials such as blankets and mattresses, which are uncomfortable and in extreme situations lead to infections.
The issue of girls' absenteeism from school due to lack of sanitary pads is a problem that has continued to block the education of a girl child. Does this mean that education of a girl child is going down the drainage?
Statistics from the Ministry of Education show that a girl who cannot afford a pack of sanitary pads misses 4 learning days, making it approximately 36 days in a year. It is for this reason that OJA stepped up to address this issue by killing 2 birds with 1 stone. She conserves the environment, which at the same time providing women with cost-effective hygiene products.
Since we began, at least to the schools that have taken our product and the organizations that have asked us to make for them the product, there is a report on reduction of menstrual health mismanagement. By that I mean that at least now there is a percentage of over 40 people being able to attend school because of, you know, of the product which they have with them every term. And since it's reusable, that means all they have to do is wash and then keep for the next cycle.
Imojong Francis, an employee with Wabib Pads Limited, is thankful for an opportunity given to him, and he acknowledges that Wabib gives a lasting solution to the majority of the women.
Wabib Pad at the same time create a job for us boys, whereby we can also get our needs which are necessary. We work here, they pay us. So Wabib Pad is one of the company which has employed youths.
Wabib pads are made out of waterproof materials, hence easy to clean. Through this initiative of making reusable pads, girls can be able to get some of the pads that could help and protect them from abuse. Ivan Tukundane reporting for UBC.
Thank you, Ivan Tukundane. And with that, UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but return with business and sports.
The Ministry of Health informs the public that there are confirmed cases of Ebola in Uganda. We, however, urge the public not to panic as the situation is being managed. The Ministry of Health further reminds the public to be on the lookout for any persons who may show signs and symptoms of Ebola. These include high body temperature, abdominal pains, diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding from the body openings such as the nose, eyes, and mouth. Please inform inform the nearest health worker immediately if you see anyone with these signs and symptoms. To prevent Ebola from spreading further, please take the following preventive measures: regular washing of hands with water and soap, avoid handshaking and hugging, avoiding any contact with any suspected Ebola patients. Any person who dies suddenly should not be buried but reported to the nearest health worker or LC1 immediately. For further information, please call the Ministry of Health toll-free number on 0800-100-066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and World Health Organization.
Welcome to the Living Room Stadium. It's the FIFA World Cup. The match is about to start. Food and drink ready. There's no space left for anyone. Come on, get your lucky chair. Take your usual spot. Even the puppy has one. It's preparation time. You can feel the tension in the air. And do you have everything you need to believe?
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back from that break. And now into the business scene. Aviation Kajansi has launched local flights to Adjumani to support business communities and non-governmental organizations operating in the district. This is intended to support local tourism and reduce on the hours of travel by road. And as we hear from Sandra Kahunde, a flight to Adjumani costs about $190.
For the Ugandans, why should you focus on UAE if you are thinking of doing international exports? UAE has become a very important market for Ugandan products because apparently it is #1 in the Gulf countries to attract so many Ugandan products. #2, it is #5 in the world over in attracting Ugandan products. And the culture, the relationship is very attractive and accommodative for Ugandans. So literally anything grown in Uganda has market here, whether be it vegetables, fruits, and of course also for the Ugandan exports, minerals have also increased. The volumes we are exporting as in minerals, gold amongst others has increased because it's now taking a share of 50% of the Ugandan exports.
As a Chamber of Commerce, we also help and support a lot of companies that come and open up in Sharjah by exploring new markets, providing information, reducing the amount of risk that is involved with opening up new markets. We participate in a lot of exhibitions and trade missions, and also our most recent or upcoming trade mission, which is the Kenya-Uganda trade mission. And when it comes to exploring new markets and exhibitions, our most recent was Cial Paris, which is a food exhibition. We do a lot of events per year, and this will open up new markets and opportunities for companies.
So you need to come through the embassy so that we can connect you directly to those well-established companies that are registered by the Chambers of Commerce, so that in case of any issues, you can have a fallback position.
All right, now that particular story is about the Ugandan government is committed to leverage on economic diplomacy to widen the market for Ugandan produce in the United Arab Emirates. And we did see the Uganda's ambassador to the UAE, Zake Chibedi, of course encouraging the Ugandan business community to diversify goods for export to feed the lucrative market in the Arab Gulf. Now back to our story. Aviation Kajansi has launched the local flights to Adjumani to support business communities and non-governmental organizations operating in that particular district. Now, as we hear from Sandra Kahunde, a flight to Adjumani costs about $190. Take a look.
Aviation Kajansi has officially launched a new flight route to Adjumani in northern Uganda due to public demand. The new route shall be operating 2 days a week, that is Monday and Friday.
This flight is going to save time because it's only 1.5 hours from Kajansi to Adjumani. And of course, everyone wants to come in a very comfortable way and very safe way. And of course, it's time saving.
Over time, Aviation intends to increase flights in case the demand keeps increasing. However, there is enough capacity at the moment to serve the business community, families, and non-government organizations. A flight from Kajansi Airfield to Adjumani costs approximately 665,000 shillings.
Because Aviation is here to bridge the gap of air transport because it has been a problem and we want to solve that problem. It's a heavy investment, yes, but we are looking at getting yields in the long run and of course building the nation.
State Minister for Transport Biamukama Fred has pledged that government will construct the road from Kajansi to the airfield to ease movement of people seeking the aviation services.
I must assure you, we have already taken up that road. It is called Kajansi Bolonde Road. We have already taken it up, we are going to work on it. We want our tourists, when they are accessing this place, even other places, they come while sleeping. By the time they realize they are inside, when the driver is tipping them that we have arrived, please wake up and go on the flight.
Aviation is offering chartered flights locally and internationally, air medical evacuation, contract flights, and trains professional pilots. On a daily, the Aviation wings fly to the national parks in Uganda that include Queen Elizabeth, Murchison Falls, among others, to promote local tourism. Sandra Kahunde, UBC News.
The UPDF Marine Fisheries Protection Unit has set ablaze a number of illegal fishing gears at landing sites of Kahindiro and Hamukungu on Lake George in Kasese District. The impounded illegal fishing gears were confiscated in different operations mounted at various landing sites on Lake George in Kasese District.
More than 147 illegal boats, 3,900 pieces of monofilament fishing nets, 3,150 fishing nets, 148 fishing baskets, among other prohibited fishing gear, have been set ablaze by the UPDF Fisheries Protection Unit. According to the Commander, UPDF Marine Fisheries Protection Unit Captain Julius Ankunda, fishermen on major lakes in Kasese have continued to use illegal fishing equipment despite endless warnings.
That when they're using these small gears, they get too much and they get small fish, which they think it is to their own advantage.
Captain Julius Ankunda says the rising population around these areas is putting pressure on the lake, causing persistent illegal activity.
The increasing population which is unemployed, and of course the water body, the lake is smaller.
The lake had been depleted. We are happy to report today that there is some work that have been done.
He says over 150 people have been arrested and 72 of them have already been convicted.
Taken to court and they have been convicted to.
Nonetheless, regular sensitization on the illegal fishing is being done. Some fishermen had their justification on the use of illegal gears.
Amajje gamaze ku nyanja wano emyaka ena naye ebintu bye tufunye mu nyanja bisinga emyaka 15 bitwavuba.
They have, however, requested their leaders at different landing sites in Kasese to work closely with the Fisheries Protection Unit to fight against illegal fishing.
Welcome to Friends Stadium. Everybody's ready. Wait a second, not everybody. Come on, dude, it's the FIFA World Cup. You're going to lose your seat, the ritual seat, the lucky one. Losing more than a seat, your team is going to lose. Where are you, dude? The match is about to start. Your friends won't hold out much longer. Excuse me. Finally, everything is in the right place. Hey, other hand. And you, do you have everything you need to believe?
And now into sports. Uganda is set to host the 2022 Rugby Africa Women's Cup Pool B qualifiers from the 25th of October to the 2nd of November at Wankulukuku Stadium. Uganda is with Kenya and Zambia in Pool B, and the Lady Rugby Cranes will take on Zambia on the 25th of October before they face neighbors Kenya on the 2nd of November. This is the first phase of the Women's World Cup qualifiers, and the winner of the Rugby Africa Women's Cup Pool B will qualify for the Rugby Africa Women's Cup First Division in 2023. And more news. Apart from being a sports spectacular, the World Cup event is an economic hub, bringing millions of dollars to the host nation and partners alike. As it has been in the past tournaments, this year's World Cup is estimated to add up to 17 billion to the Qatari economy.
According to reports of the organizers of the Russia 2018 World Cup, the country gained $14 billion to its economy. This is no different from the Qatar 2022 World Cup, where the country is estimated to gain about $17 billion from ticket sales, hotel businesses, airlines, endorsements, advertisements, among others. On the employment part, approximately 1 million workers have been employed in construction, while another 100,000 are domestic workers. The estimated number of hotel rooms in Qatar for 2022 is 13,300, with 80% of that supply expected to fall within the 4 to 5 star hotel category. Qatar expects to reap over $40 billion from the hotel business alone. Even though Qatar is strictly a Muslim country, the beer business is also set to benefit from the worldwide event. Beer is being permitted to be sold in the country in luxury hotels and a few designated zones. Since 2010, 7 new stadiums, an airport, roads, public transport systems, including metros, and a new city have been built to an estimated tune of $130 billion.
We'd like to thank you so much for your company tonight, and UBC News Tonight has come to an end. But do enjoy the rest of the weekend and more so of UBC's programming. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto, wishing you a blessed night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky